Good morning, everyone, once again. Thank you for joining. And my name is Jesse Quagrin, and I'll be taking you through how to leverage LinkedIn for career success. And so before we start, I've released a poll, a quick poll, just some fun quizzes for us to try. So you can also just try your hands, just something to just warm us up to get started. I just want to know how many of us are very, very familiar with LinkedIn, just to know the level, and also just to create some fun. All right, so if you are done, you can just let me know in the chat. And also just feel free to send anything in the chat, anything that is not clear. You can also give your feedback, and I'll be reading them as I go along, and I'll address them accordingly. Okay, so just one more time, I just want to ask, can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Okay, the chat is disabled. All right, let me work on that. It should be possible. So, okay. All right, so I think, okay, let me leave it to this. All right, so you can try again for the chat box. I just sent a hello. Okay, great. All right, so, okay, yeah, what I can see your message. All right. Okay. Okay, so thank you, Letitia. Done. Okay. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Okay. All right, so a little about me. Like I said, I'm Jesse Quagrin, and I'm a certified digital marketing specialist. I'm also an SEO content writer at Elinode, and I'm a LinkedIn trainer. So I'll be taking you through what and how to use LinkedIn. I know most of us have some knowledge about it, and others practically have zero knowledge. Don't worry at all. By the end of this session, I believe you'll be more confident in using LinkedIn. So just a little bit about myself to encourage you. I have zero background in marketing to begin with. Yes, but how did I end up here? Just a very quick and simple story. I actually came from a construction background. Yes, that is the degree. I graduated KNUST with a degree in construction, building technology. But I pivoted somewhere along the line for two main reasons. One, because I was not really interested in the construction industry as a whole. Second, life, the job market, everything, which was just more or less a struggle. But I found my feet in digital marketing. And from there, especially during the COVID period, that is when I really zoned in and decided to take all the knowledge I can, take all the experience I can. So since then, I can actually say and attribute most of my career success so far to LinkedIn. One other thing is that my last two jobs actually came from LinkedIn, directly from LinkedIn, and to make it more interesting, they even reached out first. I didn't make the first contact. So I am a very big testimony of what LinkedIn can do and how to maximize some of the opportunities. Sometimes I see people's comments on social media and even from friends who tell me that LinkedIn is just for a special group of people. They've tried, it seems boring. It seems like just for office people or those who are in the top CEO positions, like the executive positions. And I would like to say that is not entirely true. Yes, LinkedIn is a professional network, but it is not exactly what we have deemed it to think, or we have thought it to be. But by the time we are done with this, we'll understand why. So let me just go through what you'll be learning through this training. So first, you'll get to understand LinkedIn as a social network. Practically everybody knows what a social network or a social media network is now. So this should be something simple. We also get to know the benefits of LinkedIn. Like I said, I've given a little bit of a brief overview of it. Okay, I think I have a question. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So thank you for drawing my attention. I think now everybody can do the chat. All right. Thank you. All right. So let me continue. So you get to understand the benefits of LinkedIn. You also get to learn a simple framework that I'll teach you to boost your LinkedIn visibility. Basically, it starts from there. The main reason most people abandon LinkedIn is because they think that they are not being seen. So, and that's true. If you're not being seen, if you're not being discovered, if your content is not being seen, nobody's actually looking out for you. Yes, you can feel invisible and you think that there's not much you can do. I'll just show you a simple framework that we would use, and then you can help improve your visibility. There's also a very critical one. You learn to find and apply jobs on LinkedIn. I know most people, this is one of the number one reasons why they actually jump on LinkedIn, to find other jobs, those who are not unemployed or those who are already in a job role, but they are looking for other jobs. They think that it's not really working out for them. But I can show you how to do it. It doesn't guarantee that you'll get a job, but at least I can tell you that it will improve your chances of finding one, or how you go about finding one on LinkedIn. And then we'll also explore a few other features that LinkedIn offers, some other beneficial features that I've actually used myself. So just a quick one. You can answer this in the chat box if you want, something to just get us thinking. So we I just want you to choose one. Imagine you are left with just these two choices: $1 million upfront and $500 every week. $1 million upfront, $500 every week, and you are told to choose one. Which one would you choose? You can just be typing your answers in the chat box. I'll just be reading as we go along. And another one is, if you have 5,000, if you have to choose between having 5,000 quality followers, let's say on LinkedIn, and 20,000 total followers, which would you prefer? Let me differentiate between the two. Quality meaning very relevant, like highly relevant followers, people that if you jump on LinkedIn, you know that you are getting a lot of value out of. You can maximize opportunities out of those followers, versus 20,000, should I say, raw or general followers. So with these ones, they are not really optimized. They are just random followers that's just come together. So there's more of a question of quality versus quantity. Which would you prefer? Quality, but with at a lower quantity, or quantity, but at a lower quality? So you can just be writing. Let me just see some of the, okay, all right. A lot of people are choosing, okay, $500 from Jamal, $500, okay. I see $1 million from, okay, 500 every week, okay, okay. All right, so the quality too, okay, so far everybody's choosing quality. That's nice. All right, okay. I'll not say anything now, maybe at the end. So let's get started. So what is LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a professional social network. It's the world's largest professional social network. People connect there basically to explore professional interests. That's how we put it. So that's why it's called a professional social network. So it's just like any other social network. It's just that the focus is more centered around, career, business, that kind of thing. But it doesn't mean that other things, you will not find other kinds of content over there, and I'll explain as we go along. So the benefits, as I mentioned, you have a load of benefits, a ton of benefits that LinkedIn offers you. One, you can find job offers on LinkedIn. Like I said, I myself am a big testimony of this one. And I know of other people who have shared of their experience of using LinkedIn to find jobs. For those who are looking for talent, those who are looking to hire people, you can use LinkedIn to find job talent. And I mean quality job talent, not just the raw, and it depends on how you go about it. You can also use LinkedIn to advance a niche career. So what I mean by niche career is something more specific, something very well narrowed down. Maybe you are into digital marketing for women. You can that's what we call a niche. So not just the general industry, but very, very narrowed down, highly specific niche. You can also use to find customers. Maybe you're a business person, you're a freelancer, you are somebody who is getting into business. You don't just need to stay on Facebook or Instagram. You can spread your wings and find people even on LinkedIn to get business. Okay, and it just shows the various opportunities that LinkedIn has. You can connect with industry leaders. That's also one of my personal favorites. I like connecting with people a lot, and especially those who are leaders in my industry. I follow them, some I connect with them, I chat with them. And that way I broaden my knowledge and also broaden my scope of opportunities. And so you can also do that through LinkedIn, because most of those professionals actually live on LinkedIn. That's where they are very conscious and particular about. You can also use LinkedIn to build a personal brand. Personally, I encourage everybody to go build a personal brand. If your personal brand it can live beyond just what you type on social media. Your personal brand, if you do it well, can literally create different doors of opportunities for you. And so LinkedIn is one of those platforms that you can do that. All right, so let's look at a few LinkedIn facts. Yes, LinkedIn is actually older than Facebook. Most people don't know this. It was officially launched in May of 2003, and Facebook launched a year later. So LinkedIn is older than Facebook. So even though Facebook is the more popular one, it has its tenure. Currently, LinkedIn is approaching 1 billion members. We have over 850 million members, and it is still growing strong. Microsoft has owned LinkedIn since 2016. This was something I put in the poll for those who answered it. So those who got it right, well done. Microsoft owned LinkedIn since 2016. It was bought for about $26 billion. Like I was saying, this is a very interesting statistic. There are 20 million open jobs listed on LinkedIn. So worldwide, remote jobs, in-person or office jobs, there are more than, and I think the number has increased since I updated this slide. And there's also another interesting fact by LinkedIn themselves. Per their statistics, 6 people are hired every single minute on LinkedIn. So this is very, 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 very amazing. Okay. 80% of job recruiters and hiring managers use LinkedIn for recruiting talent. As I said, LinkedIn is a place where you can actually get jobs. Okay. And most people, those who are professional, those who really know the kind of talent they're going out for, looking for, jump to LinkedIn first before most of these other job sites that are out there. And like I was saying, in as much as they're also hiring, people are also applying. there are 95 job applications every single second. This is mind-blowing. So, and I also understand why this might seem competitive, but hey, that is what it is. And LinkedIn can do that for you. You can actually, depending on how you brand yourself, how you differentiate yourself, it doesn't matter whether there are 200 applications every second, you can actually find a place over there. So with regards to Africa, South Africa has the largest LinkedIn base with 9.5 million users. For Ghana, we are approaching 6 million users. And also, LinkedIn is home to everybody. That's what I always say. It doesn't matter the kind of career you are building or what level of your career you are, whether you're a student, whether you're a graduate, whether you're a sports person, an athlete, a DJ, a teacher, YouTuber, even comedians are there on LinkedIn. So those who say this one is not for me because I've not seen anybody over there, you might be shocked. LinkedIn has room for every single person. It just depends on the kind of content you're putting out there and how well you position yourself. You will always have opportunities for LinkedIn. So let's jump straight into how to increase your visibility. This is the number one reason for being on LinkedIn, personally. This is where you have to start from. You should aim to be visible on LinkedIn. If you're invisible, if nobody is seeing you, that alone is going to be the deal breaker for you, because nobody is going to patronize, especially if you're into business, nobody is going to patronize what you offer. If you are looking for a job, nobody is going to even contact you because you are invisible. So the more visible you are, the better your chances of finding opportunities. So it is incredibly critical that you choose and be conscious and be very intentional about how you position yourself on LinkedIn. So I've crafted what I call the OCP framework. It's a very simple framework. It's a step-by-step process that can help you improve your visibility. So the first is to optimize your LinkedIn profile. This is where it starts from. The moment you sign up for LinkedIn and you get your account, that is your profile. There's a way you have to go about putting it together to improve your chances of being found on LinkedIn. And so that's what we are going to go through. I'm going to take you through how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. And after optimizing, the next thing is to consciously grow your network. Increase the number of connections you have, how to build connections, build trust with your connections. That is the next step. From there, the next thing is to post valuable and helpful content. The key word being the valuable and helpful, not just any kind of content. In as much as you can share any kind of content, if you really want to grow, if you really want to be relevant on LinkedIn, the kind of content you put out there must be valuable and helpful to your readers. And then the next thing is to interact with other posts. So that's the OCP framework. When you interact with other people's posts, you are making yourself even more visible to those people you are interacting with and to the people that interact with that person's posts. So there's also a very conscious thing you can do. All right, so optimizing your profile. For those who don't know, your profile lets recruiters and clients know more about you. They get to find out, that's the first thing anybody will contact or use to contact you. Then when they see it, how you've addressed yourself, what you say about yourself, what you write about yourself, how you present yourself, will let a recruiter be interested in you and maybe pay attention to what you have to offer or just skip you to the next person. The same goes to clients. For those who may be looking for the services that you offer, they'll definitely want to know more about you before they even make contact with you. And your profile will say a lot about you. You know, there's an expression that says that first impression counts a lot. So that is true. So optimize your profile to make it all-star level. So LinkedIn has this sort of recommendation or a grading system to help you optimize your profile to the best or to the optimum level. And that's what we call the all-star level. And all-star profiles have 7 times more profile views than just those who don't have. So the next thing is, how do you create your all-star profile? It takes a few things. One is your profile photo. You must have a profile photo. You must have the cover photo or the banner, the rectangular image behind your profile. The next is your headline. The next is your headline. And then you have to craft a good profile summary. The summary is more like your about section. We'll go into all that. I'll take you through all that. You also have to fill your skills and your experience. Most people leave this part out, but this is extremely critical. I can tell you that I've gotten more than 3 or 4 job offers just by filling my skills and experience, because there's something that LinkedIn will do with it, which I'll tell you as we go along. Also, get endorsements and recommendations. And so this is the framework for creating an all-star profile. So we are going to go through step by step, and I'll show practical ways that you can also do that. So let's get into it. All right, so for your profile photo, I recommend you having a profile headshot. What we mean by a professional headshot, sorry. What I mean by professional headshot is you don't just take any kind of selfie and then, you just post it as your profile photo. Like I said, with LinkedIn, it's slightly different from other kinds of social networks. So you have to be a bit more intentional about how you present yourself. Some might say it's sort of like a discrimination if you just use any kind of thing, like a stereotype, but that is what it is. People have come to perceive it that way. And especially depending on the kind of industry you are in or the industry you want to get into, there are certain expectations people will place on you. So one of it, just to be on the safe side, is to have a professional headshot. I will explain as we go along. The image should be high resolution. Don't just go for a blurry, low quality pixelated image. It doesn't speak too well of you. The dimensions for a profile photo, the ideal dimensions are 400 by 400 pixels. It's simple and easy to use. Maximum file size, 8 megabytes. And most importantly, you must wear a smile. You must always wear a smile. A smile is very inviting. When people see, even in normal everyday life, if you're approaching somebody and let's say you have to approach 2 people and one is smiling and one is frowned, naturally you gravitate towards the person who smiled. So that's the same thing with your profile photo. When somebody just jumps onto it, just that thing will subconsciously warm the person up to you. And so there's a power, there's magic in a smile. So please always smile. Those who have frowned their faces all the time, please, you are driving people away. So let's repent from that. Your cover photo, the banner behind, the suggestions or ideas that you can use. You can use your professional environment. So maybe something like a workplace setting, you at work, or a conference you attended, something of that sort. You can use that for your cover photo. Or you can also list your services, assuming you're a freelancer or a business person, a trader. You can list your services in your cover photo. So the moment people jump onto your profile, before they go down to your about summary and everything, at least they know a little bit about what you do. So you can list your services. You can use quotes, motivational quotes as your cover photo. Anything that just speaks about you or just gives a little hint about what you do. Also, the same thing, it must be a high resolution image. The dimensions for your banner, the LinkedIn banner is 1584 by 396 pixels, and also the same maximum file size. So these are just the simple tips for your photo. So this is an example that is me, like I was saying. So the first thing is the warm smile. You see it, it makes you approachable instantly. Assuming if I had, found my face or it was just, very stiff-faced, probably I would have lost some opportunity. Some of you might even just be like, hey, what is already happening to this guy? So it stays a lot. The background behind your headshot should be plain. So no distracting backgrounds. Some of us, we use pictures that are very, very, to use the word, noisy. So people can't really focus on you. Sometimes it takes a little bit of attention away from you. So try not to use any distracting backgrounds. Dress like your industry or what you would typically wear to work. So this one, there's a little bit of flexibility. As much as I said you have to look professional, doesn't mean you have to typically wear a suit. You can wear a t-shirt if that is what your industry presents. So let me just give a typical example. Graphic designers, for those who are into graphics or like the creative industry, you know, they see suits as very restrictive. So they don't like to represent themselves with suits or very extremely formal dressing. So you see more of them in Lacoste or t-shirts. If that is what, that's the generally accepted form of dressing in your industry, go for it. Use a Lacoste, use a t-shirt. Don't be too rigid with that. So just feel free. Also, like I said, it has to be a high resolution image. Yes, and there's a free tool that you can use to analyze a profile photo for free. It's called Snapper, SNAPPR. You can write it down in your book, SNAPPR. When you get there, they have a photo analyzer. All you have to do is connect your LinkedIn profile. The AI will just scan through your profile picture and give you a score. And based on your score, it also gives you recommendations on where and what to correct. So I encourage you, just try it. It's a free tool, like I said. So you can see that with 76, mine is pretty good. And you know, try it. Maybe you can even get a better score than I would. So the higher, the better. All right, so let's go to the headline. The headline, your profile headline. So the profile headline is your digital real estate. It also speaks, it's your first opportunity to tell people about what you do or who you are. When they come onto it, after reading your name, after seeing your picture, it's naturally the next place people are going to read about you. So what you say over there matters a whole lot. And this is where most people get it wrong. A lot of people make very costly mistakes when it comes to your profile headline, but don't joke with it at all. With your headline, your profile photo, and your summary especially, these three, don't joke with them. So I'm going to just take you through a few. The first is your job title, okay? So you can see that I've added a job title over there, Certified Data Marketer. So that is who I am. That's for those who are employed already. Just add your title to it. Add keywords, relevant keywords. So because I'm a digital marketer, most of the keywords in my industry are SEO, social media, content marketing. There are loads, but these are just three. You can add a few, one or two keywords to your profile. And then you also add what we call your unique selling proposition. Your unique selling proposition. Those in marketing are familiar with this term. And what it does is that it helps you to differentiate yourself from your competitors, if I should put it that way. So basically what you're going to do is to try to convince people as to why they should reach out to you. So how you craft a unique selling proposition is to add the value, show the value of that you are coming to offer. So if you read mine, for example, I say that I help brands grow their value by optimizing their online presence with compelling content. So I immediately, you can identify who I help, that is brands. How do I help them? By growing their value, okay? Through which strategies, or how do I go about it? That is by optimizing their online presence with compelling content. So immediately, okay, if somebody is looking to grow their value, they will know that, okay, I'm a good fit for that. If a brand is looking for compelling content, okay, Jesse is the guy for that. And I also used my good friend Constance headline for you. And I also like how she put hers. I says, I give you a second voice in French or English. And she has also added her keywords, that is the freelance conference interpreter and translator. And she has added her title. She's the owner and OM at CYG LSP. This is incredibly perfect. Okay, so you can also do that. Look at yourself, look at what you do, and sit down and craft. How can I sell myself? How can I tell people in as few words as possible what I do and the value I bring to them? So even if you are looking for a job, so this is not just for those who are in business or freelancers. Even if you are looking for a job, there's a way you can craft your profile so that when the recruiter, potential recruiter looks at it, okay, that alone can put you above, or it can fast track your application. Okay, so maybe you're into banking or you're into a different industry. Just know how they look. You should know what the industry is looking out for. You should know what value is appreciated in your industry. Then you position yourself as the best option or one of the best options for that value. That's how you go about it. So a few more tips. So I've talked about the job title. This is especially important. Avoid words like unemployed, seeking a job. I see this countless times with some of my clients who are looking for, who come to me to help them with the profile optimization. You see that in the headline, somebody has come to write, looking for a job, unemployed, help me get a job, help me, I need a job. You are wasting precious real estate, people. You are wasting very good opportunities to sell yourself, because I want you to think like a recruiter or a client for a second. Assuming, let's say I'm a recruiter and I've come to LinkedIn, I'm looking to hire an accountant or people to consider people for an accounting role. When I go to LinkedIn, okay, think just for a second. When you get there and you're searching for an accountant, what are you going to type? Are you going to type unemployed? Are you going to type seeking a job? Or are you going to type accountant? Obviously, you're going to type an accountant. And that is why this is a very huge deal breaker for some of us. Because I'm not going to type nobody is looking for an unemployed person, because there are millions of people who are unemployed. So how do you differentiate yourself? That's why the keywords matter a lot. So don't waste that time, because on LinkedIn, sadly, people are not there for sympathy. The fact that you've written that you're unemployed, help me get a job, is not going to move most people to actually get you a job. No, it is about how you sell yourself. It's about how you position yourself to bring out the value that you offer, so that I'll be convinced to hire you or to employ your services. Okay, so, all right. So you can just be sending in your questions. At the end of the session, I'll just be answering them. All right. So another thing that I see, and this is even extends to the resumes and the CVs. We've learned this now countless times. Avoid using these buzzwords, these cliche words: strategic, seasoned, professional. They don't really move anybody, to be honest. And another deal breaker is that it makes you look more pompous, if I should use the word. It makes you look a bit more coming off as you are all that, but that's not what you should do. So communication matters a very great deal, because when I come to you, assuming I'm coming to look at your profile to potentially hire you for a job, I know that you are seasoned, or I don't even care whether you are seasoned. I don't care whether you are determined. I don't care whether you are strategic. I don't care whether you are all the nice descriptions you put yourself, because there's a term in marketing called, or when you're advertising, we call it what's in it for me. What's in it for me simply says that people are selfish. Naturally, we are selfish. When I come to you, I don't care about whether you brag 1 billion times. I care about what you are going to do for me. I care about how I'm going to benefit from you, or hiring you, or partnering with you. So that is why you write from the other person's perspective, not your perspective. So the fact that I'm a strategic, seasoned, determined guy will not really convince a recruiter. It will not really convince a client. But if you can see from these two headlines, I'm now talking from their perspective. I help them. So you talk about them, not you. I hope that is clear. So that's what you also do with your headline. Talk about them, don't talk about yourself. And also update it regularly. If after some few months or a year, you've pivoted, you've changed jobs, you've changed industries, update your profile from time to time. Some of us, we've left our profiles for 5 years. Meanwhile, we know that where we are now is not where we were 5 years ago. You are hurting your brand. Okay. Okay, done. All right, so let's go to your profile summary. When it comes to summary, your summary is your about section. It's an opportunity to also give more details than you could have in the headline. So this is where you write sort of like a short essay about yourself, and it will naturally lead people to that if you were successful with your headline. Okay, so once your headline is a bit interesting or is catchy, people will go on to read about you. So this is where you show your personality. And I always recommend being conversational. Try to be conversational. Don't be all stuck up. Don't be too tight and rigid with how you speak. So try to balance between using a little bit of professional language and being totally human. Show your personality. It matters a lot. Don't be something or someone you are not, because the truth of the matter is people can read through lies. People can read through all the plenty word salad that you're going to use. But if you show your personality that, okay, this is who you are, hey, you can win a person's heart. So use numbers and stats to show proof. And that's what I do a lot for my clients. I try to get them to use numbers, statistics. Okay, so yes, we know that you achieved or you were able to have a successful campaign, but how successful was it? Okay, so assuming, let's say you're a social media manager, okay, and you want, or you are looking for a social media manager role and you've done some bit of work there. You can take something like growing a Facebook page. You don't just write, okay, I was able to grow a Facebook page. No, use numbers. Okay, so you look at it and analyze. Okay, from the time I took over handling this Facebook page, it had 10 followers, and I was able to push it to 500 followers in 3 months. So that is what you say. Okay, grew this particular Facebook page from 10 followers to 500 followers in 3 months, leading to a 200% increase. Now you are using numbers to sound more convincing. Now you are showing your value. Now people, the person reading is like, okay, this person is serious. This person knows their stuff. But if you just go the general way, you are just going to fall into the general applications. And that is how you don't stand out. The next is to avoid third person. This is, I call this a cringe move. Don't use third person. Third person is when you write like a biography and something like, okay, Jesse Cragen is an accomplished, blah, 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 blah. He is this, that. He is that. No. Go the normal first person route. Talk in first person. Let it be like you're talking with the person reading. So you're not talking to 10,000 people. Always assume that you're talking to the audience of one. That is a very key communication skill. Talk to the audience of one. Address an audience of one, not 10,000. So even though we know that in reality, 10,000 people are probably going to go through your profile or going to look at it, just talk like one person, one-to-one. That is more convincing. So how to write a good summary? The first is to use a good hook. And in copywriting, when you say hook, we are talking about the attention-grabbing line, the first 3 lines. And in your LinkedIn summary, your first 3 lines are the only lines that are going to be visible. So what you say is going to convince people to click the read more. They're going to hide any other thing after the 3 lines. So if it's not catchy enough, if it's not interesting enough, I'll just look at it, okay, it's nothing special, and then they're just going to go away. But when you're able to use a good hook is sometimes controversial, or it can appeal to the emotions of people. Okay, so those are two tips. You can go by either, or if you're very good, you can combine the two. Either go with a very controversial opening line, or you go with a very emotional opening line. And I'll show you an example. Another thing you can add in your summary is your skills, your skill set, or the areas that you're good at, your strengths. So if you're good with writing, or writing in a particular industry or in a particular style, be very specific. The more specific you are, the better for you. So avoid being general. General doesn't say anything. That doesn't really work out for most people. So the more specific you are, the better your chances of convincing your reader. So as I said before, show how you delivered results in the past. So use numbers, use the statistics, use the figures. That is more convincing than just going by the normal achievement route. And then always add a call to action. A call to action meaning you tell them what they should do after they've read it. Okay, so assuming I'm a freelancer and I'm offering services, the call to action can be that, okay, this is my number, you can contact me on this. But personally, I try to shy away from sharing personal numbers on LinkedIn profile, especially because it's public. It's just for security reasons. But if you don't mind, you can go ahead. But I prefer you use email. So I'll tell you, email me at blah, 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 or connect with me. Connecting with me meaning that they should follow you on your LinkedIn profile, or you should add your social networks where you are, Instagram, Twitter, you can add all that so they know what to do to contact you. So this is a typical example. So this is my summary right now. If you go to my LinkedIn profile and go to my about section, this is it. And I use the storytelling approach. The storytelling approach meaning that it's not just more like a CV style kind of format. I share my story. And that's because I want to use the emotional aspect of it to appeal to the emotions of my readers. So you can see the moment you see this, okay, my journey from construction to digital marketing, that alone is catching, because it's not normal to see someone just pivot from construction to digital marketing. So that is something you can use. That's why I said controversial. That's the idea. I also use another emotional line. I had high hopes to be actively involved in construction, but life happens. This is a very strong hook. Why? Because it will generate curiosity. People want to find out, okay, what happened that made you shift from construction to digital marketing? And that is also a move you can do. If your life story is similar to mine, trust me, just go with that. If you have pivoted from one industry to another, just copy it line for line. It is the best method for you. Okay, so I now share my story from how I transitioned from construction all the way to where I am. And always make your summary readable. Use the paragraphs, use bullet points if you have to. Make it readable. Okay, when everything is jammed up, it hurts the eye. People will just immediately, it can turn people off immediately. So try not to use and jumble up everything in one. And then add your career highlights. So you can see my career highlights over here, that this is where I am now. You see that I've added my skills and my keywords. This is just a snapshot. When you go, you can see the rest. All right, so skills. Always add your skills. Okay, and if you don't have skills, I always recommend, there are many online learning platforms out there. Get a skill, especially digital skills. We are in the era of like digitalism. Go and look for digital skill, especially a highly wanted skill. LinkedIn and always updates, gives a list of the most in-demand skills every year. You can go through their list and look at something that you think you can do. It doesn't matter the industry you're in. Always get a digital skill as a backup. It's always better that way. So list at least 5 of your skills, at least 5. I recommend not less than 30 personally, but at least 5. You should be able to have 5 skills in your profile. And so it depends on the industry. So let's say you are into accounting and maybe balance sheets or something. Write all those things count as skills. You can just add them there. And guess what? Just adding 5 skills will give you 21 times more profile views than those who don't add any skills at all. So that alone is going to boost your visibility by probably 200%. So always add your skills. So you can see some of my skill sets here: SEO, marketing, research. The same thing goes with you. If you're into graphic design, you can add the tools that you use. They also qualify as skills. So Photoshop or Adobe Lightroom, anything. If you're a photographer, do the same. You can just go with, even if you're a teacher, write the subjects that you teach. It doesn't matter at all. As long as you have skills, you are going to be more visible. Then you update your education section, add your work experience to it. If you have any awards or certifications, be proud to show them, okay? They always add to your social proof. They cement your value in the eyes of your reader. And always add your location to it. The reason is because the LinkedIn algorithm will match you to jobs that are in your area. So assuming somebody places a job ad and they're looking for people within Ghana or West Africa, or let's say Kumasi, adding your location to it will push you above somebody who is in Accra. Why? Because you are matching the location in Kumasi. So that is why you must always add your location. Never forget that. And then endorsements and recommendations. They are your social proof, and you must always aim to build your social proof. They speak for you. This is another way of selling yourself from a third party. And you know, word of mouth is actually the strongest form of endorsement anybody can get. So when people are endorsing your skills or recommending you, you are putting yourself in the top 10% of people to be considered. And the best way or the fastest way to ask for or to get endorsements is to ask for them. Don't wait and think that people are just going to endorse you because they are nice people. No, go and make the first move. You can either ask them for the endorsement, you can ask them for the recommendation, or you can just go ahead and give them one. Actually, that's the best way. So you identify somebody that you know, somebody that you've worked with, or you have some form of relation in a professional manner. Give them a recommendation. That alone is going to make them happy and they would want to return the favor. So that is, just give a recommendation, give an endorsement, and you are good to go. So we are done with optimizing our profile and we've boosted our visibility a bit, but we want to go further than that because your network is your network. We have to grow your network. It's not just enough to have a fully optimized profile and just have about 10 connections. It's not a strong enough reason, or it's not a strong enough leverage for you. But the more quality connections that you have, the better for you. So a quality network is a strong social currency. And I like the way those who began in the post were sharing about the followers choosing the 5,000 over the 20,000. Okay, 5,000 quality followers can create millions of dollars over just 20,000 raw followers. So a few tips for growing your network. Connect with 5 to 10 new people every day. Especially if you are fresh, like let's say you created your profile today, connect between 5 to 10, send 5 to 10 connections every day. But don't overdo it because LinkedIn will think you are spamming people. You're just sending spam requests. So 5 to 10 is a safe spot. 5 to 10 new people every day. And I recommend that these people should be people first within your industry, people that are relevant to your industry. Don't just see the next thing that LinkedIn recommends and just start clicking. No, look at people that, okay, they are graphic designers, or if you're in the graphic design industry, or you're in the advertising industry, or you are in the carpentry industry, just go ahead and connect with such people. It's for a reason. And don't just send the raw connections, especially if you are new. The raw connection meaning you just send the default LinkedIn request, connect, and then sing. You know that when you try to connect, LinkedIn will tell you, okay, would you want to add a small message to it first? Use that small message, because when you personalize the request, especially if you are connecting with people who are, in your industry, who are like leading figures in your industry, the main reason for personalizing it is that you catch their attention. It's the reason I've connected with a little bit of high profile people. Don't need to mention them, but it worked for me and I believe it can work for you. So use a personalized request every time. Try to build trust with who you connect with. So after connecting with them, you don't just leave it there, leave it hanging. You can say hi, you can look at their profile, look through the activity, and say, you find something interesting that they are talking about or they've posted, use that as the opening line or a way to start a new conversation. Oh, hey, I saw that you've gotten a recent promotion. Congratulations. Oh, hey, I saw that you started a new job. Oh, hey, I saw that you've connected, or you started a new achievement, something. Just do that to build the trust and strengthen the friendship, and interact with people. So it's not just enough connecting, interact. This is the secret ingredient to being visible. And this is actually what made me grow very fast on LinkedIn. What I mean by interaction is when people post, go and leave valuable comments in their posts. Don't just send it, oh, good idea, nice, thank you. It's not enough. Leave something valuable. If you can add your insight to the person's post, add your insight to it, share your contribution to it. What that does is that, one, it makes the person who posted notice you. Okay, they see that, and do it consistently. Okay, anytime they post, you are sending very valuable and helpful comments. They are going to notice you with time. Okay, the second benefit or advantage of that is that those people who come to those same people's posts will also see your comments and look at, okay, this person is always leaving valuable comments. So it means that they are relevant, or I would benefit from having such people in my network. And from there, you are growing your visibility by the second. So always leave valuable comments. And that's why you have to connect with relevant people. Personally, before I connect with someone, I go to the activity section and I look at how active they've been. Are they posting? Are they liking? Are they interacting with other people's posts? If they are not doing any of those, it's possible they've not even used their LinkedIn profile for the past 6 months. And then you go and send them a connection request. They're just going to be like ghosts in your network. So look for people who are active, who are also posting, who are being very intentional about their LinkedIn profiles. That's a faster way to grow. So you can just use this simple template that I've prepared. Those who, if you saw the session, there's a free template that I've included. You can download it. You can see more connection requests over there as well. So just go like, okay, hi, Jesse. I was connecting with people in the digital marketing industry, or I was connecting with people in content marketing, and your profile piqued my interest. I also saw that you love talking about football. It'd be a pleasure to connect and share ideas. A very simple personalized request. And it shows that you have put the person first. You have shown their importance. You are showing that you value them. That is going to be better than just sending the default LinkedIn connection. You can use the second one. Okay, I came across your post on banking, about the banking industry, and I found your take to be interesting. I would love to become a part of your network so I can follow your work in whatever industry. So that is also another way you can go. There are various ways. You don't just need to limit yourself to these. There are various ways of going about it. So who has viewed your profile? There's a very interesting feature that I love so much because it helps me to know the kind of people that I'm attracting. So you can always go there yourself and see it. You can know who is viewing your profile over the past 90 days. Those who have the LinkedIn premium account will be able to see all of them. But if you don't have the premium account, you're using the free, you are limited to just 5 profiles. So you can see that this person was a content specialist and is into content marketing. And that's because that is what I also do. All right, so from there, you are going to publish valuable content. The best way to grow on LinkedIn is to share valuable and helpful content. So the more valuable content that you share, the more people that are going to engage with your post, because your post is going to resonate with them. Okay, then they can relate with your post. And then what happens is that they're going to engage. They're either going to leave comments, they're going to like it, or they're going to share it. And when that happens, the LinkedIn algorithm realizes that, okay, this post is valuable. They're also going to show it to more people. And that is how most people, or you can see that most posts go viral. So you can go through the same process, especially if you're sharing thought leadership content, or like I was saying, the personal branding content. So the key thing is that your content should always add value. And what do I mean by adding value? It must be helpful. Ask yourself, okay, this thing I'm going to share, is it helpful to anyone? Will people really, will it help somebody solve a problem, or will my reader learn something new? Okay. The other thing is that you have to ask yourself, is it respectful? I sincerely believe that you don't need to just say anything anyhow. There's always a nice way or a respectful way of going about your post or sharing whatever information you have. Go ahead and do that. You can even add funny posts. Right now, we know that LinkedIn has the funny reaction. Some people were fighting it at first, but ultimately, like I was saying, we have moved past that. There are some who call themselves the LinkedIn police, and I'm sure some people have come across it. They'll come and tell you, this thing shouldn't be on LinkedIn. This thing should be for Facebook. This is LinkedIn, always leave it professional. But please, as I said, you are showing your personality. It's a way of showing your personality. So don't always think that you have to show the graduation achievements alone. If that is what you want to share, feel free and share that. If you want to share a funny picture, video about your cat or your kids, go ahead and share it. It's okay. You are being human, and that is the center of social media. So in case you don't know what to post about, these are just some ideas. You can share your personal story. Everybody has a personal story. You saw mine in my summary. You can share that in a post as well. If you have goals that you're working on, feel free to share the goals as a post so that people can even relate with it. Okay, I'm also doing something similar to that. Okay, now you have an accountability partner. If it's achievements you want to share, don't be intimidated by anybody saying that you don't have to share achievements. Share them. You are encouraging other people, and you're also letting people celebrate you. It's okay to share them. You can go the educational routes and share helpful content or news in your industry, or give your opinion about something that is trending. Okay, so right now in Ghana, we know that inflation is trending. If you think you are an authority in that field, go ahead and share that. Give your one or two opinions about it. Okay, and also use the polls. I love using polls a lot. Polls let people vote on or give their, they select an option from a series of options on a topic or a question that you are asking. So sometimes even the controversial questions, you can use that to really gather a lot of engagement. But you have to be, you have to balance it. Okay, you have to balance how you go about it. You don't just go with the extremely controversial, because if you are going to go that, just be prepared for the consequences that will come along with it. All right. Okay, So you can post in any of the following formats. You can use text posts, okay? Text posts mean that you just type words alone, but don't go with the cliche posts. There are some posts that are on LinkedIn that have been repeated over 2,000 times. You come and copy and paste and repeat. It's boring. At least share, mix it up, and use emojis. It shows a bit of personality as well. Okay, I am very, very particular about personality. I don't believe everything should be extremely formal, because in real life you are not. So why should you try to, in quotes, pretend when it comes to LinkedIn? Don't do that. It's not really beneficial. Okay, so use emojis to spice it up. And remember that there's a limit of 3,200 characters. All right. You can go with live videos. If you are bold enough, if you're not shy behind the camera, do a live and use that to do a behind the scenes at work or in your business. You can organize an ask me anything question, or just do something spontaneous. Another good performing format you can do is PDFs, or the document format. I also like using this format a lot because it's great for tips and educational advice. As usual, images and videos work on any social media platform, and visuals always attract views. But if you're going to go with videos, try to keep it under 3 minutes. Anything beyond 3 minutes, most people will not watch. Even if it's highly engaging, they will not watch it. So keep it under 3 minutes. And then for those who are ready to talk a lot, you have a lot to say, use the articles feature. I've written a couple of articles myself, and they've also opened doors for me, especially with my current job and those who are into writing. You can leverage articles to actually build your portfolio of writing. Okay, so use that a lot. All right, so let's go to another key area: applying for jobs through LinkedIn. It's something that I get a lot from people who need help, who reach out to me. And I believe that it's not easy. The job search is not easy, but as I said, though there's no guarantee with the tips I'll share, at least you can improve your chances or go about it better. So LinkedIn for jobs LinkedIn is a great resource for finding jobs. As I said, 87% of recruiters use LinkedIn just to look for candidates or applicants for a job position. All right, 94% use that to vet their candidates. So aside you coming with your application or your resume, they'll want to look at your LinkedIn profile. So those who think that, oh, I'll just send the resume alone, you can lose out to somebody who has the resume as well as a very good LinkedIn profile. So I always encourage you to do that. All right, so a few tips. Use the jobs tab to find more tailored results. Okay, you can set up job alerts to track job roles that interest you, and you can also explore relevant job hashtags. All right, there's also something that I've tried and it works. So you can go with the industry name and then you add jobs to it. So digital marketing jobs, or teacher jobs, teaching jobs, something jobs, or you can just use the word itself. But the broader the hashtag, you're going to go through a lot of content first, and that's why the jobs minimizes it. You can even go a step further using location. So banking jobs in Ghana, banking jobs in Accra, banking jobs in Tamale, anything of that sort. If it doesn't work, just try something else. Okay, or you can go a more direct route. If maybe you have a particular company in mind that this one is your dream company, you want to work in this company, just go straight to the company's LinkedIn page. They have a jobs tab, and that way you see if they're advertising for a particular role where you fit. So if it is LinkedIn, that is your dream company, you just go to the LinkedIn company page, go to the jobs tab and look through the job postings that you have there. Then you can also go the general public route. you announce, you actually make a post, a public post that you are looking for a job. But I always say, don't try this if you are already having a job. This one, if your employer, your current employer comes to see it, you know that marks trouble. So don't try that at all, I beg you. So let's move on. Okay, so I wanted to show, let me stop share. I'm going to show you how to set up job alerts using my LinkedIn profile right now. Okay, so, all right. So I'll share my screen briefly. Okay, all right. So here's my screen. I want to set up job. So assuming, let's say I want to set up for my writer. I think I've done a few, but let me show you. So you first go to the jobs tab, locate the jobs tab over here. All right, locate that. And okay, give a moment for it to load. No. Okay. It seems the network is a bit slow. Okay, great. It's coming. All right. So I can just clear this. Okay. You see, locate the job alerts. All right. So I can just, let me just delete one and start fresh. Okay. Okay, let me just start it from scratch. So let's say I'm looking for a job as a digital marketing specialist. Okay. So you go to the search box and then it's going to give you a number of results. Because I've already selected my location in my profile, this will be the default place it's going to be. But assuming I want to specify or make some specifications, okay. For example, I want to look for jobs only in the past, let's say, week. I do that, set the results. And if, let's say, I have a particular company in mind, all right, you can list the company here. You can choose the kind of working style you want, whether you want it on site, remote, or a combination of the two. You can select all three if that's what you want. Okay, so let's say I've selected all these three. You can do all that. So the results will show up here. So once the results are done, you see that there's a button called Set Alert. You just click it. And what that means is that I've set the job alert. So anytime a job offer matches these conditions that I've listed here, I'll get an alert on the Facebook, on the LinkedIn app, or I'll get an alert in my email. So that's the simplest way to set up job alerts. So we're done. Okay, let me move on. Okay. All right, so that's it. So as I've said, LinkedIn will notify you of the jobs that match your specifications. Okay, I've talked about the hashtags. So you can see some popular ones: job postings, package, job alert, looking for job openings. It's better to avoid things like looking for job. You can do openings. So maybe industry and then add openings. So data marketing openings or banking openings, anything of that sort. Accountant openings. All right, so let's look at a few LinkedIn features. and then we are through. So these features are also beneficial that you can use to improve your chances, or you look for opportunities that LinkedIn offers. So the first is the open to work photo frame. This is especially for those who are unemployed, who are looking for jobs, who are actively looking for jobs. LinkedIn says that when you activate your open to work frame, you let others know that you are open to new opportunities. This also works for those who are freelancing or who are like self-employed and are looking for clients or customers on LinkedIn. You can use the open to work frame, and you are 20% more likely to receive messages from your LinkedIn connections. Okay, so this is a typical example of that. But I always say I don't recommend this if you are already employed or if you have a job, especially if you have a boss who is very active on LinkedIn. Don't try to use the open to work thing. If they come across and say, okay, you are there looking for opportunities, it might not really be the best for you. So don't go by that approach. So to activate your open to work frame, I was going to show a practical way, but it seems it might delay. So you can just use these few steps to do that. So tap on your profile picture. So you can do this simply through the mobile app, but you can also do it on the desktop app, but the mobile app is fast. So you tap on your profile picture, you go to your profile, okay? And in your profile section, to the right of your profile, you click on the intro, okay? Then in the intro, you can tap looking for job opportunities, give all the various information, the necessary information that you need. Then you choose whether you want all LinkedIn members to see the frame or you want only recruiters to see that frame. Recruiters will be those who have signed up for LinkedIn's recruiter service. So it's not just any random person. So if you choose that all members will see it, then that is when the frame will actually be publicly displayed on your profile photo. Okay, so let's talk about the featured section. There's also another wonderful feature that LinkedIn has introduced, and it's also a great way to sell yourself. I'll show you an example of it. So the featured section is an opportunity to show proofs or give links, send links, give things or give information about some of the things that you do or some of the things that you offer. So you can choose to add a link to your portfolio, assuming you already have a website or a landing page of your works. You can add a link to that. If you have a website, you have your social media handles, you can add links to all that in your featured section. You can choose to add photos and videos as well in your featured section. You can, if you have some great posts that really, generated a lot of engagement and, really traveled far, add them to your featured section. What that happens is that when somebody comes to your profile and they see it, okay, they see that you are made of, your quality is good. You can also add your LinkedIn articles, and if you have a newsletter, you can add it as well. And you can even add your resume as an image. So you can share your CV, especially if it's a 1-pager or 2-pager, you can just share it as a picture and add it to your feature section as a way to let potential recruiters quickly access and go through your resume. So this is mine. I chose to add some of my posts, my most popular posts. I shared one of my best performing posts. That was my story, my journey from the construction to data marketing. So I pinned it on my featured. I also share tips, especially about LinkedIn. So some of the things I'm doing right here, I share them as posts, and then I decided to add them to my featured section to let people know what I do. It gives an idea of what I do. So my very good friend, Edward Asari, he is a very popular blogger. I'm sure most of you know him. he chooses to share his articles, especially in the media, about his blog and about those on popular websites. So any media feature he has, you see it in his featured section. So if you are the type, you have had a media feature, feel free to share it. If you have appeared in a website article, just feel free to add it to your featured section. And creator mode. This is fast becoming one of my favorite features too. For those who are really ready to make the most of LinkedIn, you really want to grow on the platform, be a creator, just like those who are YouTube creators and stuff, you can use the creator mode to really grow. It's made especially for those who have a lot of content to share and are ready to invest on that platform. LinkedIn did this because they want to invest in the volume of content that is on their platform. So it gives you a lot of benefits. So one of it is that the default profile button on your that you find on your LinkedIn profile is the connect button. But when you become a creator, when you switch on the creator mode, it will change to follow. So with follow, anybody can follow you without having to send you a connection request. You also get to choose 5 topics that you would like to talk about, that you usually be posting on, and choose them as hashtags. As you can see here, you can add up to 5. So I want to talk about LinkedIn, I want to talk about personal development, content marketing, data marketing, social media. So those are my topics. They'll be displayed as hashtags. You have access to LinkedIn Live and audio events. The audio event is like Clubhouse, the popular app that was trending last year. Now it is everywhere. All the platforms, almost all the platforms, social media platforms have it. So you can use that to create, just like we have Twitter Space. So that is the equivalent for LinkedIn audio events. You can also have a newsletter. Let's say you want to be writing articles from time to time, you can convert that into a newsletter, and then anytime you release a new post, LinkedIn will notify anybody who is following you to come and read. So that's also a very wonderful feature. All right, so a summary of everything today. The first is that LinkedIn is for everybody. Regardless of your profession, it doesn't matter whether you're a teacher. I even know a carpenter who is doing exceptionally well on LinkedIn. He uses LinkedIn to, post his latest works, and he always gets that engagement. He tells me that he's always getting clients from LinkedIn. So it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter the industry you find yourself. It doesn't matter the career you want to pursue. LinkedIn is a home for you. It has a lot of benefits. As we said, you can use to find jobs, you can use to build a personal brand, you can use to get customers, you can use to advance your career, take it from there to there. You should always seek to optimize your profile to an all-star one. That is how you get more visible, because the visibility is the basic one. From there, that is when you grow to the next level. So you have to be conscious and strategic about how you grow your network, because your connections are your social currency. You do that by sending personalized requests and also interact with other people. So don't just come and post and then go, and then don't engage with anybody. Engage with other people's posts. When you post and people comment, engage with them, respond to the comments that people leave on your own posts. It's a way of growing your network. And like I said, apply. Take the chance to apply for the jobs, because you can learn all the tactics, can learn all the strategies, but if you are not taking that action, you are not going to see results. And aside that, you have to be patient. I know it's not easy to be jobless, especially in these times, but as much as you're applying, also be patient, and definitely I know you are going to have the good news you are looking for. And create valuable content. This is another way to become more visible. This is the best way to actually grow quickly and let people notice you. Because when you are sharing helpful content, people are going to notice you. Everybody wants to align with the person that is trending or the person that is posting the good content. If you can do that as well, you are on your way to being very valuable. Okay, so thank you for joining my session. Thank you for the time. I believe that now you should be more confident in using LinkedIn to advance your career. So, you can share it with me. You can connect with me over here. I'm sure I'll leave that in the, you can just search Jesse Benjamin Quagreen. I'll type it in the chat box, and then you can connect on all the social media handles. So right now I'm ready for the Q&A, Anything, you can just use the Q&A section. Let me go through the chats as well. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so awesome delivery. Thank you, Daniel. All right, so I see that someone said, always wear a smile. Yes. Thank you for the compliment, Letitia. Thank you for the, yes, my suit. I've had a lot of good comments about it. And so I don't want to throw it away at all. Okay, so some said that they couldn't join early, but don't worry at all. This is a recorded session, so I'm sure after everything is done, you'll be able to have access to the message. Okay, so, all right. All right, so thank you. So any questions at all? Any questions? You can just leave them in the Q&A. Okay, so someone said that, what do you write on the headline when one is into so many areas? What do you write on the headline? Okay, all right, so, okay. All right, so what do you do when you're into so many areas? I would say it depends. Personally, I would want you to focus on one area. The reason being that in the professional setting, sometimes it appears to be a good idea to be a jack of all trades. But most people now, especially when recruiting, they want specialists, or they want people who are stationed in one area and are working towards that. Because let's assume, let me just give a typical scenario. Assuming I want to hire for a digital marketer, okay, and I have two candidates. One person super focused on digital marketing, is always enhancing his skills in that industry, in that area, in that niche. And then you have somebody who says he's a digital marketer, he's also into banking, he's also into accounting. Yes, you might think, okay, I'm getting 3-in-1 value, but if you are really looking at, okay, we are filling for this particular position, who is the best person to be able to do that? I'll definitely go for the person who has optimized, or who is super focused on one area. And that is what I would also recommend. So even if you are into many areas, there should be one place where you are more dominant. Use that to focus. It's true that maybe because you are looking for a job, there's the temptation to, okay, let me apply in different industries, and where it's I fall, I'll be lucky, and then just focus on one area that you are going to really hone into, and just optimize for that. That's the best suggestion I can give you. So it was asked by an anonymous person, so I hope I've answered your question. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, you're welcome. Okay, you're all welcome. Okay, I said I'll type my name, so you can just copy the name and search for me on LinkedIn, especially. LinkedIn is where I'm mostly active. Okay, so you can just copy it. You're welcome, everyone. Thank you also for spending the time, taking time off to be with me, to learn a lot. I'm looking forward to connecting with as many of you. I'm also looking forward to your testimonies that you're going to give after applying some of these tips. Don't forget to download the free template that I added to it. It will help you, especially for those who are not able to, take down a lot of the notes here, especially when it comes to connecting. I have everything down, the templates, the request, everything. So someone says, we'll be glad to be taken through briefly how to optimize my LinkedIn profile. Okay, Doris. Okay. Should I give a practical way? Okay, let me do this in 2 minutes. Let me try to do this. Okay, she joined late. Okay, all right. Okay, some said they can't find the template. All right. I'll ask the organizers. I'll ask the organizers to see how that will be done. Okay. Let me do this for the sake of Doris. Okay. Okay, so this is a quick one. Okay, so you go to your view profile. All right. So, and then you just start from there. We use the pencil icon to start editing. If you want to edit your banner, this is the place to do it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so, all right. A little bit of slow network. Please pardon me. Okay. Okay, good. All right. So you click on the pencil. Okay, it's loading. So you just apply the tips that I taught you. So first name, last name. This is the headline. This is what I was talking about. So you make sure you add your role. Even if you are unemployed, this is very important. Even if you're unemployed, don't write unemployed. Write the title or the job role that you are targeting. So assuming, let's say I was unemployed, but I want to get a job as a data marketer. I'll just add, data marketer, or I'll write about the industry. So I can just add data marketing. Okay. As I said, nobody will go and search for unemployed people in the literal sense. They are going to search for the role. So write that so that when they are searching, LinkedIn can also add you to their search results. See, that's what we call SEO. Okay, so you do that, you write a bit more of the keywords, okay, and then you add your unique selling proposition. I'll go back to that in the slide quickly. So the unique selling proposition is what I said. You talk about how you differentiate, how you stand out and bring value to your target reader. So this is what I do. This is how I stand out. I help brands to grow their value by optimizing their online presence. So I'm showing what I can offer, not just that, okay, I'm a digital marketer and I manage social media pages or I write content for social media. No, that's not enough. Okay, so this one sounds more compelling, more enticing. You add your position to it, your education. This is what I was talking about, the location. Add your location to it. Add your location to it. Okay, so I believe that's for this one. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So the feature section, you click on the plus and to show you what you can add. You can add a post, a newsletter, an article, a link, media to it. This shows your activity that you've done. Yes, your about, this is what I was talking about. This is your LinkedIn summary, as we said in the slide. So you can see it, how it's well spaced, it's readable. I try to keep it a maximum of 3 lines, and then I bring a space. And then you can see my call to action. Please email me at gregging@yahoo.com, blah, blah, blah. Okay. then add the experience to it. So always update your experience. If you get a new job, just update it, add your education to it, your certifications. If you have any certifications, add them over here as well. If you have done any volunteering, you can add that as a way of selling yourself. The skills, as I said, so you can have your skills shown. I've added about nearly 50 skills to it. Then recommendations. Okay, so I give and I receive recommendations, as I said. All right, so that's how to optimize your profile. So any more questions? Any more questions? Okay, any more questions? Okay. All right. So I believe that's it. Okay, I think someone has their hand up. Okay, Jennifer. Okay. Hello, Jennifer. Pardon me? Sorry, your voice is a bit far away. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Jennifer, okay, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, yes, okay, great. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I was saying that the LinkedIn profile, I edit it with my the volunteer, everything like that. It's like it's more of experience. So where do you write the volunteer bit? Or I should use the desktop, I can find it there.
Okay, I didn't really catch everything, but if I'm correct, I think you're saying that if you don't have any experience, what do you write in the experience section, right?
No, I
Okay.
have volunteering experience. I want to add it.
Okay, Jennifer, please, can you help me
I
out
don't
by
know where
typing?
exactly. I don't.
It seems the line keeps breaking, so I miss a few details. So you can just write it in the chat box. Okay. So please, if you have a question, you can just raise your hand. You can raise your hand and then I'll quickly give you the opportunity to speak.
Okay.
Okay. So let's briefly wait. So Doris, you're welcome. I believe that was clear. So as I briefly wait for Jennifer's question, let me see if I can go back to the beginning for the sake of those who missed out in the beginning. Okay. All right. So I'll just go through the profile one more time, just a few tips. Okay. So as I said, avoid words like the unemployed, avoid the buzzwords, use relevant keywords, add your unique selling proposition. Okay, I give an example of my friend where she says, I give you a second voice in French or English. This is very apt, very specific, very clear. So you can also do that. I said that you can use a free tool called Snapper to analyze your profile photo for free. All you have to do is link or connect your LinkedIn profile to the app and they will analyze your profile picture for you and give you a score. And based on the score, they also give you recommendations to improve upon it. So you can do that as well. Okay. All right. So with the profile headshot, it should be a warm smile. Always wear a smile. It helps a lot. Okay, so Jennifer's question is saying, where do you find a part where I can tell my Where do you find the part where I can type my volunteering experience? I'm only able to add my experience like job, education. Oh, okay. It's inside the work experience aspect, but I think you have the option to choose whether it's a volunteering position. But if that's not there, you should still just check the work experience section. Though, if you scroll through completely, there should be the place where you can add volunteering experience as well. So I hope that is clear. Maybe you can take one last question and then we are done. Any questions? Okay, so I believe we are done. Okay, so thank you so much for your time, everyone. I believe that you have benefited from this session. Please go and apply. Don't just go back and, let it be in your books. Apply, see it, optimize your profile, optimize your summary, start posting, start engaging and interacting. And my LinkedIn inbox is always open. You can always send me a message. We can chat, and, we can build from there. So, okay, there's a hand raised. Okay. I saw a hand raised. Okay, I think it's done. All right. So please, everyone, thank you so much and bye-bye. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Ellie.